I've been asked for a tour of my Tiki Hut and the signs that I made. I'm certainly not a professional, but here's a DIY video to show you a cheap and easy way to make them and decorate your bar. So here's all the different signs that I made, and each one of them has relevance to my life. They're also directional, so that ones that point that way is south from where I am, and the ones that point that way are north from where I am. And that's them. I started with some old fence boards that I found in my very messy garage, and using a miter saw, I cut them into various lengths. They're approximately 15 to 20 inches for the messaging signs and 8 to 15 inches for the directional signs. Then I'm using just regular acrylic paint, 3 or 4 different colors, and mix them all together to create a variety of new colors. And then I painted just one side of the board and waited for it to completely dry. Then when it was all dry and I have different colors, I used PowerPoint to create some messages that I want to paint onto the sign. I picked really cool fonts, I picked images off the internet, and then printed them out. Then I cut those pieces and put them onto the board after it was all dry, making some type of a template. Then I lined the wood up using a really, really sharp pencil and pressed hard into the wood so that I leave a mark so that I could see that when I removed the template. Then using a thin pencil, I did a light line around them so that I could see it, so that when I took the paint out, I could paint over those little lines. Filling in the extra colors, and that's it. I used a screw and hung them up on the inside of the hut. Next were the directional signs with the little arrows. I changed the angle on the miter saw and cut one end using a 45-degree angle, and then flipped the wood so that I cut the other side on a 45-degree angle so that they came into a point. And then I have like a little arrow. Then I painted them all using a template with the different towns or the cities on it using the same method as the messaging board. Then I placed them onto a 1x6 fence board, and then I took that fence board and put it onto the Tiki Hut post. The last signs that I made were the little mini surfboards, and I found a template on the internet that I used to make the shape of a surfboard, and I used a skill saw to cut each end. Following the lines that I made, very easy to handle and move, just took it to a point on one side and then flattened the other side of the surfboard so it looked like a surfboard. Then I had to smooth those edges out, and I have a little mouse sander. I sanded the tips so that they weren't too pointy. There's some sharp, but pretty smooth all around the edges, and sanded it all out. Then I had 3 of them all sanded out, and using the same design trace techniques, made these little surfboard signs. And that's it. This is what they all look like inside the hut. Let me know if you have any questions. Would love to answer any. And I'm truly missing summer already.